Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to be talking about the thought matrix, accessing the Akashic Records. So the big question is, what is the Akashic Records? What is it that this is all about? What is it that so many people are talking about in the metaphysical consciousness and spiritual circles when it comes to the Akashic Records? Well, to put it in the most simplistic way, the Akashic Records simply represents a thought matrix. Every particular thought that has ever been manifest within creation is the precise contents that represent the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records, again, represents this universal library. From everything that exists throughout causality, from everything that we understand as a person, a place, an event, or a thing, everything that represents that consortium of energy through thought is the basis of the Akashic Records. And so if you can imagine an enormous void that contains all the implementations of thought derived from the one thought, this is the aspect of how we are able to access the Akashic Records. It is the collective consciousness, it is the collective unconscious, it is the matrix, it is the universal library. And we all have the capability of accessing the Akashic Records. We all have the ability of being able to channel or move into these particular different extensions of thought. And so all of these thoughts themselves that are contained within the nexus of all that is, within everything in regards to causal realms, with everything in regards to our astral realms, to our physical realms, everything to where thought itself is magnetized, is what the Akashic Records truly is. Is it true that there are particular caretakers, that there may be librarians or guardians representing the Akashic Records? The answer is yes. There are beings that exist in higher dimensionality, that exist in non-physicalized consciousness, that are basically thought directors or thought inputters. And they assist in the caretaking and the maintenance of everything that represents thought. They are basically creating a particular grid. For example, with our own planet. Our own planetary matrix has a filtration effect in regards to the type of thoughts that are contained within our own unified field of consciousness. And through every now and then, a particular individual or individuals are able to align and magnetize to these degrees of thoughts that, again, are part of the Akashic Records, to bring forward these innovations, to bring aboard these great ideas, these inventions of consciousness. And it's all part of this matrix that has these filters that are ran, caretaken, facilitated by many of these beings existing in different dimensional fronts, in different dimensional matrices. So everything in regards to what is allowed, what is enabled by thought, is all part of a filtration system within our own planetary matrix. Here's the funny thing as well too, is that when we're looking at the Akashic Records, is that when we're looking at thought, we ourselves never actually have ever had an authentic thought. All thought is contained within the nexus of all that is. But you may be asking, well, how is that possible? If I have this aha moment, if I have this innovation, if I have this really, really great idea, are you saying that I'm not the owner of that particular thought? Are you saying that I don't own that particular Akashic Record? The answer is yes. You do not own that particular thought. No thought ever belongs to one particular being. Well, what do I mean by this? Well, just imagine as if we were able to become a spacefaring civilization, and we were able to go to different planets, and we were able to see these cultures, these different civilizations, and their particular forms of technology that may be very, very similar to what we have invented throughout our history. We may have something similar to what we see to an automobile. We may have something very similar that we may see on another planet that may represent a radio. We may see simple tools. We may see weapons like swords or bows and arrows, etc. All of these are part of the unified field of consciousness contained within the universal matrix. So we have never really authentically had an original thought. We are basically just facilitators. We're crystals that are magnetizing all of these energies in regards to the basis of how we consider our theme of exploration on an incarnate level to allow this to unfold on planet Earth. So all of our particular thoughts that we're receiving that represent aha moments is basically the feeling of having a thought that surpasses everything in regards to ego or systematic belief. We have attained a whole new spectrum of understanding that has always existed, because thought has always existed. There is no beginning, there is no middle, and there is no end to thought. So you yourself are accessing the Akashic Records all the time. Every time you have a thought, you are bringing that forward through the facilitation, through the prisms, through the, I guess you could say, filters of the Akashic Records, of the unified collective consciousness. So all of your own particular thoughts that you feel are great innovations or great ideas. They are indeed great innovations. They are indeed great ideas, but they have emerged from the collective unified field. They have resided from the matrix. They have resided from the Akashic Records. Well, who is it that's responsible for creating thought? The universe, the collective consciousness, because again, everything that represents an assemblement of thought has always been collectively co-created. There is no such thing as individuality. Individuality is only a functioning, a convenience in regards to how we understand linear-based reality. And so everything that makes our thoughts what they are, to bring in these innovations, to bring in these ideas from the Akashic Records that represents the entirety of our reality, has emerged from collective co-creation, has been brought forward through the Akashic Records that represents a nexus of collective co-creative content. And that's the whole idea. Thought itself is the content created by the collective consciousness, the collective unconscious, the matrix, the Akashic Records, the universal library. And again, all of these particular thoughts that we understand that emerge from what we could call the Akashic Records are just continual filtrations that are being orchestrated, organized, filtrated, caretaken by all of these different beings that exist in higher realms that are able to manage thought just as easy as we're able to manage files, manage papers in a filing cabinet. They have the ability to basically help run the game of incarnation to determine exactly what particular thoughts are permissible to be shared and to be retrieved by individuals. So what is it that you can do to become more of this thought inhabitor, bringing more inventive, innovative thought within yourself? It's about thinking outside the box. It's basically imagining that you are in a clean slate when it comes to knowledge, that knowledge itself is relative. And as long as you're able to look at that knowledge itself as relative and that nothing really in regards to thought is absolute, you keep yourself in a very clear mind. Your mind becomes very clear and you're able to bring forward these marvelous, never thought before thoughts that are coming through the filtration of the collective consciousness / collective unconsciousness / the matrix / the Akashic Records. You have the ability to do this. Now, are there particular people on the planet that have quite an edge on this, that have quite a capacity in regards to bringing the purity of that thought into their own matrix and being able to express this? The answer is yes. And you can find these particular individuals who are autistic. You can find these particular people who are schizophrenic, these particular people who have ADHD, etc. Whatever the quote-unquote dysfunctions are that systems attempt to label upon a person to normalize them, to make their thoughts system-based, to make them ego-based. And so if we're looking at the idea of an authentic thought, we're just looking at a thought that has not been conformed, that has not been constrained in regards to what we feel is a systematic box. It is outside the box thinking. And some of these individuals who are schizophrenic, who are autistic, who have ADHD, who all have these particular quote-unquote types of neurological or some type of impairment, are masters at this. And they are bringing forward powerful thoughts. They're like the planters. They have seeds, and they're planting them in the dirt, and they're watering them, and they're watching them grow. And that's how our unified field of consciousness is continually growing, because we have more and more people coming upon the planet that are much more representative of allowing outside-the-box thinking. The purity of a thought that is not condensed or conformed in regards to a state of an inside-the-box thinking. So the more that we can think outside the box, the more that we're able to explore the vastness of these particular thoughts that are now coming through these filtration gateways, and actually be able to assist in the betterment of our civilization. This will allow us to eventually at some point interact with many other civilizations, because we're reaching a point of maturity. The grassroots of this outside-the-box thinking is going to help us to explore other worlds. It's going to help us bring forward innovations where we're working together with the planet, where we can heal each other, where we can heal the world, and where we can continue to develop ourselves and go beyond our world, and being able to look at other planets and other dimensions. This is all within our grasp the more that we can think authentically, the more that purity of that thought that's not condensed, that's not conformed, that's not normalized in regards to ego and systematic process, the more that we have those kind of thoughts, this is indeed the process of how mankind will grow, will expand, and will bring themselves to untold levels of consciousness. This is the Akashic Records, and this is all it takes, is the exploration of different thought. So you have the capability to explore the Akashic Records, and the conduit itself is imagination. The more that you can allow your imagination to shine, the more you don't feel that it's just some type of fantasy device that's just distracting you and throwing you for a loop. All it's really doing is helping you to steer into the direction of who you naturally are. And that is a prime example about how you can continue to magnetize pure thought into yourself and allow these new innovations coming through these filters to really help better mankind. But first of all, starting to better yourself, realizing your potentials and being able to shine that light out to the world, to our star system, to our galaxy, to other dimensions, and to our universe. So feel free to look more deeper into the Akashic Records. Explore your imagination. Now, I am able to offer a lot of these different forms of Akashic Records by helping people understand more of their own perspectives and basically showing them exactly the wonderful, amazing potentialities they have by looking at the perspectives of themselves, whether it be past lives, future lives, etc., from what we understand in a linear-based consciousness, whether it be lives off-planet, whether it be lives in other dimensions. The more that you can initiate perspective within yourself, the more that you understand yourself, and the more opportunity pure thought has the ability to visit you. So, feel free to check out more about the Akashic Records on my website, consciousmatrix.com. But most importantly, explore your imagination and enjoy everything the Akashic Records holds infinitely, and just chart your course. Pave out your path to find out exactly where you want to go as you explore the Akashic Records, as you explore the Universal Library, as you explore the Matrix. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Brad Johnson, and I'll talk to you again very soon. info@consciousmatrix.com is my email if you have any questions or feedback in regards to this video or any other videos that are available on my channel. Thank you so much. Take care. Namaste, and may it be well with you. Goodbye.